With a streamer over in Indonesia getting arrested for telling Jesus to cut his hair, Amaranth creating a beer using her, basically parts of her, I'll get into that in just a moment, Logan Paul telling a man that or rejecting someone who's basically quit everything to go and join him, Beast Games coming back for season 2 and the prize pot tripling, Amaranth's arrest, people that broke into her home for her crypto wallet, situation getting far more insane as people have now been arrested, and Logan Paul being called out by someone who we never saw coming. There's so much that's been going on over the past few days over on social media, so let's get straight into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that a TikToker has been jailed in Indonesia for telling Jesus to cut his hair. Now, obviously, Indonesia is a very religious part of the world, right? But an Indonesian TikToker has been sentenced to almost 3 years in prison because she went on a live stream to 442,000 followers, right? And took up a photo of Jesus on her phone. And after being told, first of all, she's a Muslim who's transgender, right? So that's a bit of context for you. And basically within the live stream, people within the comments section were stating, cut your hair to make yourself look more like a guy, all right? And then she pulled up a picture of Jesus and said, cut your hair to make yourself look more like a guy. And it was mass reported to the police, which has landed her in a hell of a lot of hot water. And the court said that her comments could disrupt public order and religious harmony in society and charged her with committing blasphemy. The court ruling came after multiple Christian groups filed police complaints against Miss Tulisa for blasphemy. The sentence has been condemned by human rights groups, including Amnesty International, who described it as a shocking attack on Ratu Talisa's freedom of expression and called for it to be quashed. Now, obviously, this whole thing is absolutely bizarre. Yet, I've seen stranger things happen. Whether she's going to get the full 3 years, I do not know. I mean, it is absolutely mind-boggling that she's facing 3 years in the first place, but again, like I say, it's a very religious part of the world, and, you never really mix social media with religion or politics, yet she managed to do both. So, yeah, she's upset a hell of a lot of people, which is landing her at least 3 years behind bars, potentially. But moving forward, we've got Amaranth. Now, Amaranth has kind of become incredibly popular, especially over the past few years, for her hot tub live streams. But more recently, obviously, there was her home invasion, which, well, it's still up in the air whether that was real, whether that was fake. We don't actually know. But there have been 4 teens arrested in connection to this crime that took place. So, the 4 suspects are said to be aged between 16 and 19 years old. Fox 26 obtained court documents of 3 of the suspects. Of course, the one who's 16, his identity and all the rest of it has not been released to the public because obviously he is just a minor. But DeMarcus Morris Jr., who was 17, Dylan Nesho Campbell, who was 18, and Brian Anthony Salazar Guerrero, who was 19, have all been charged with home invasion, essentially, and aggravated kidnapping and aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. Now, they've all got bonds and bails of varying amounts, ranging from $75,000 or $50,000, up to $75,000 per charge. But what we obviously don't know right now is the 16-year-old suspect, because, of course, as you can imagine, with them being a minor, they are not going to be releasing that information to the public to kind of, protect their identity, because, well, yes, they made a massive mistake, but ultimately they are still a minor and, deserve that anonymity. Couldn't get my word out there. But here is Amaranth talking about the situation.
Online, you have such a large following, and you went through a really scary situation here in Houston where you live. What happened?
It was about a week ago now, but we had a break-in, actually. I was going to bed early, and he was staying up to take care of the animals. And then I hear really loud bangs coming from beneath my bedroom. And so I call him, and I said, "Did you hear that?" He said no. He was actually he was taking a poop, actually. So he didn't hear it. He says, probably the dogs, because we have golden retriever and a border collie, and they like to jump on the table and make like a whole bunch of noise. But I didn't think it sounded like the dogs, because I know what they sound like. This was much louder. So I told him I was going to lock the door anyway, just to be safe for the bedroom and then the balcony doors that we have. And for him to call me when he wants to come in. And so I try to go back to sleep, and then a few minutes later I hear more loud bangs at my door this time, And I called him and I was like, is that you? He said, no. I was like, well, someone is trying to come in here. And then they shot down my door. These 3 guys came into my room, turned all the lights on, and then they had the gun pointed at me and told me, stand up, stand up. And so they cornered me into a chair in my room and like were interrogating me, asking me where the crypto is. They said, where's the crypto, over and over. And I kept telling them, I don't know what you're talking about, because I don't know how to give that to you. That's a digital currency. And then they said, hit her. And so with the gun to my head, one of the guys, and the other one started pistol whipping me, and they hit me 3 times. Luckily though, since I took boxing training actually like 2 years ago, I instinctively like defended myself. So my face is okay. I do have like a laceration on my head, but it's like in my hair, so you can't really notice it, luckily. But yeah, they hit me about 3 times, and then I figured out like they're not gonna reason. They're obviously crazy, because it's like I don't know what they're wanting from this. And I decided to just pretend that I know where crypto is. And so I decided to lead them over to my husband, who was still on the phone with me this whole time.
Yeah, she had it on speakerphone, so I heard all of that. And it gave me just like a moment to kind of compose myself and then, decide what to do. And like, in that moment, things that the cliches are true. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall back to your level of training or whatever. And so like I hear that on the phone, and like, luckily I have my concealed carry firearm, like close by. And so I didn't pull up my briefs, grab the gun, and then luckily I'm kind of an over preparer. So I have this like Kevlar vest by the door, and I slipped that on, and I'm running across, and she's still on, speakerphone, and I can hear that like she's convinced them to kind of start, looking for this crypto, I guess, cold storage device. And like, luckily our entire complex is laced with cameras already. And so I pulled them up, and I could kind of follow them. There's a little bit of a delay, but I could follow them through the house. And so then I thought about it for a second, and I was like, where?
Right, so obviously the story goes on like that. We'll be here all day if we were listening to the entire rundown. We kind of know what happens. They end up firing shots and then scaring everyone off, and then one of them does actually get hit. I mean, listening to American break-in stories is actually so terrifying, because obviously in the UK, no one has guns, right? So yeah, the whole situation is pretty bizarre as someone from the UK listening to this story, but obviously, that's how it ended. I guess it was lucky that they did have that, because otherwise the whole situation could have got incredibly messy. But the reason they wanted the crypto was because at the start of 2025, it was revealed that Amaranth's crypto wallet was worth around $20 million, which obviously is a hell of a lot of money. But she's clearly kind of got over the trauma, because she appeared on the clickbaited podcast to kind of talk about a lot of things. But we're not going to talk about the whole break-in situation. That's been very well covered. What we're going to talk about is something arguably stranger, and it's Amaranth's beer, right? Now you're probably wondering, oh cool, she's got a beer, fantastic. Well, this beer's got a very special ingredient, and that ingredient is her yeast, ladies and gentlemen. Her yeast from her vaginal area has been scooped out and put into a beer. And the podcast host tried it.
Now I have beer from my yeast.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
My own personal homegrown yeast. I collected it myself and I sent it in. We actually asked him if you want to try it.
Yeah, I'll try it. Oh, in my face. Is it weird that I'm drinking, essentially?
It's only weird if it tastes bad.
Okay. All right.
No, it's just weird, full stop.
I thought it was okay, personally. Kind of fruity.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a cola. We'll leave that there. The essence.
It was funny because it's gonna do a taste test with Elizabeth Warren. But that wouldn't have been funny. We weren't even gonna tell her what it was until
really?
she
You just
drank
make
it.
it do it? Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's just weird, isn't it? Like, these streamers will do absolutely anything and everything just to, I don't know, make news. It's weird, man. It's so weird. I don't know. Anyway, the next thing that we're going to talk about is the fact that Beast Games is returning for Season 2. Now, Beast Games Season 1 was obviously highly controversial. Injuries reported. A guy almost dying on set. So many issues. It was riddled with problems. But ultimately, Beast Games was a huge financial success. Yes, the show cost over $100 million in total to create, but clearly, it was a huge phenomenon, as Mr. Beast has been asked back by Amazon Prime to do Season 2. And Season 2 Well, it's even bigger. This time they have tripled the cash prize to 15 million US dollars, which is an insane amount of money. And they've also stated, we're back. Apply now to submit to Beast Games Season 2. Submit your chance to compete for $15 million in cash and prizes at beastgames.com. Now, from the looks of it, unfortunately, it is just people in America that are allowed to apply for the games, which absolutely sucks. I wish I could do it, but I can't. I would absolutely apply and just see if I got in. I doubt I would. But, yeah, I mean, based off of the fact that I'm literally in the UK, means that I am segregated from being able to do it. But if you're over in the US and you want a shot at 15 million, why not sign up for it? Anyway, moving forward, we've got Logan Paul. Now, apparently this is an older clip, but I've literally never seen this until it was posted a couple of days ago. But apparently someone quit their job. Now, like I say, apparently this clip is a little bit older, so, you know, it's nothing fresh. But apparently Logan Paul, you know, obviously absolutely huge. Someone quit their job, left everything behind to go and work for Logan Paul, only to get rejected by the man himself, which is a little bit embarrassing. But, yeah, I guess it is what happens when you try and team up with Logan Paul.
I quit my job legit 2 days ago. I came up here, took a risk. I'm originally from Ohio.
Did you sneak up here?
No, I didn't sneak in here. I didn't sneak. What do you mean sneak up?
Like on stage? Or you just like?
Yes, I did.
It's one of the sneak videos.
I'm sorry. I just.
Did you print the ticket and stuff?
No, like, I just needed to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to your brother. I'm trying to talk about business. Trying to get a job. Like I want to do media. I've been trying to get.
What are you good at?
I was 70 dances. I did like
What's
that.
your TikTok
I did that video. You know, like going like that. Yeah, you know.
Oh, so you really got what it takes.
I don't.
Then why would I
need
give
a
you
mentor.
job? Well, why would I do that?
I want to be like. I'm 22 years old. I'm just trying.
I bet I can't be a mentor right now, right? In my life, I'm a fuck up myself. I need a mentor. You know what I'm saying? Like I need
connections and you need.
At least Logan Paul's self-aware, right? He's self-aware enough to be like, yeah, I'm a fuck up. I can't mentor someone. I need to be mentored.
People be around you, right?
No, I didn't have connections and people around. I have Jake. That's it. Do you have a brother? Do you have people? Friends?
I don't.
Friends? You got friends. You got
I
amigos.
don't.
You don't have friends?
I don't. I swear to God. I'm here by myself.
Where are you from?
I'm from Norwalk, Ohio.
You're a good-looking guy, bro. You have friends, bro. You're fucking lying. You have friends. Go make content, do stuff with your friends. I'm glad you quit your job. It takes balls to do that, bro. But like now you gotta act.
Try to make a step.
I'm not, media. But I'm not the guy directly.
You're the guy.
No,
you're the guy.
No, bro. My team is this. Relax, bro. Relax. I'm not the guy. Like life isn't about handouts. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I'm not trying to get a handout. I'm not trying to get a handout.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to work hard for a little money. No money. I don't know. I can get a job somewhere else. All I want to move to LA. And I want to be able to be part of it.
Look, I have to go. If you really are serious about it, bro, you should move to LA and just like you approached me, start making connections with every single person in LA. I'm serious. That's it. I've always said this. If you're charismatic and you can talk to someone, you can make it in LA.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's my advice.
I mean, respect to Logan, really. Like, he did it in a really, like, well-mannered way. He wasn't a dick. He wasn't, like, this big personality like we see, and just completely shoot him down. He was just, like, he was really real with the guy. And I'm not often, like, nice about Logan Paul because I think he's a massive scumbag. But at the same time, he did quite well with this clip. Like I say, before everyone gets on the comments and like, that clip is years old. I know. I've heard about it. I just hadn't seen it before. I just thought I'd bring it to you guys. But the last thing that we're going to talk about is, obviously, we're flip-flopping now back to Logan Paul. So you might remember earlier, I think it was earlier this year or maybe towards the end of last year, Logan Paul called out Lionel Messi to a boxing fight, right? Because apparently Lionel Messi, well, was suing Prime for harassment and stuff, and Logan Paul was having absolutely none of it. So he made this video right here calling out Lionel Messi.
Logan Paul's Prime accused of harassing Messi in drink IP suit. Okay, let me get this straight. Brother, you copied us. Everyone saw it. They saw what you did. Everyone notices it.
It looks exactly like Prime.
Pretty similar.
Identical.
And then we got sued. Hold on, wait, what? This ain't justice, so we countersued. Obviously, if you can't beat the best, you gotta be the best. But that's illegal. That's trademark infringement. We're holding him accountable. And it's harassment, bro. Hey, all jokes aside, I will consider dropping this if Logan Paul versus Messi 2025. I'll see you in the ring, brother. Logan Paul.
Now, obviously, we all knew that this was never going to happen, but there's a possibility that Logan Paul's next fight could potentially be lined up. Not with Lionel Messi, but with Lionel Messi's security guard. We've seen this guy in action for, like, when Messi's playing for Inter Miami, right? This guy bombs onto the pitch when fans like pitch invade to try and get a picture with Messi. Like, this guy is a beast. And he just called out Logan Paul to a boxing fight.
No, I think that's Messi's bodyguard. Hold on. Excuse me. Can I hop in really quick? To meet you, do you mind if I ask you a quick question? Yeah. So I just wanted to know, what are your thoughts on the Logan Paul calling out Messi for a fight?
Who?
Logan Paul, like the YouTuber.
Look, Leo, he doesn't know who this guy is. So if he really want to fight, he can fight against me. Not against a soccer player.
Damn.
You want to destroy that guy. Destroy that guy. For sure. That's it.
There's no way that Logan Paul's stepping into a fight with him because he knows that he's just going to get his ass absolutely handed to him, because this ain't WWE, this ain't fake. Well, it might be fake. We all saw the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight, but that's another story for another day. But what do you guys think about all of this? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.